What's up, everybody? Yeah. Welcome to the Mike Dolce Show, Ask Mike edition. Every Friday at 12 p.m., we are going to come on live and ask your questions. Now, we do a lot of live Q&A shows, live rants, live engagement with you here on YouTube, but also on our Instagram page. So make sure you're following us on both sites. I love hopping on and answering your questions in real time. This allows us to really drill down deep and understand what's going on with you out there. So feel free to leave any questions in the chat right now, but you can also leave comments after these videos post. You can ask me follow-up questions on anything we discussed, or you can ask questions for me to film an entire video on, 3 to 10 minute video to answer that question in the future. Much of this channel, the Dolce Diet YouTube channel, is fueled by you, by our community questions. We also just launched the 20-minute fitness network here on YouTube, which is in-home workouts. You guys will absolutely love that. Check out Mike Dolce's 20-minute fitness network. I appreciate you guys for being here. And again, ask any questions below in the live chat. We see people are just jumping on right now, and it's great to see you guys as the stream populates. We're going to talk about fitness. We're going to talk about finances. We'll talk about fat loss. We'll talk about fighting, all here on the channel today, if that's something you want to hear about. And I want to check our Instagram page and see if there's any specific questions. And there is. So I'll jump in right now on Instagram. Actually, Fab Strong says, Mike, I've been following all your content for at least 3 years now, but I don't remember if you trained MMA athletes for nutrition only or for strength and conditioning as well. If you can give a rundown about your roots starting with MMA athletes, again, I'd appreciate it. Fab Strong, I appreciate that. Thank you for the question and for the opportunity. Yes, I have worked in nutrition and strength and conditioning the entirety of my career. I started at the age of 13 as a 4-year varsity wrestler. I was also a 4-year captain. Now think about that. As a freshman in high school, I was actually voted to be a varsity captain. And that showed, I believe, the aptitude that I had in leadership skills, but also with my knowledge of strength, conditioning, and nutrition. I was running my team through a lot of the conditioning drills, as well as weight cuts and things like that. As rudimentary as it was back in those early days, I still had the aptitude, I had the passion, and I had some inherent qualities for that. As we continued on through life, in 2004, I was hired by Robert Follis, Randy Couture, Dan Henderson, and Matt Linlin as the head strength and conditioning coach of the #1 mixed martial arts team in the world. That was Team Quest Fight Club in Gresham, Oregon, which is a suburb of Portland, just outside Portland, Oregon. I was the head strength and conditioning coach at the #1 fight team in the world for 5 years or so. Now, I've worked with many of the world's greatest athletes inside the world of combat sports during that period of time. Randy and Dan and Evan Tanner, Chael Sonnen, Nate Quarry, Ed Herman, Chris Lieben. Those were the athletes in the very early days. And then in 2008, I actually earned my way onto the Ultimate Fighter TV show as an athlete, but I was a full-time coach, and I was hired by Quentin Rampage Jackson to be his full-time strength and conditioning coach as well as nutritionist. I left my job at Team Quest. I moved down to Huntington Beach, California to work one-on-one with Quentin. And then I made my way to Las Vegas, where I lived for another 10 years, working with many of the world's greatest athletes, Ronda Rousey, Vitor Belfort, continuing my career with none other than the GOAT, Chael P. Sonnen. And God, I've worked with, I believe, over 200, maybe 250 or so UFC athletes over that period of time. I work with high-level wrestlers, collegiate wrestlers, international Olympic-level wrestlers, as well as the traditional ball sports, NFL, NBA, MLB, hockey. We even work with many of the famous tennis players. I have NDAs with some of these athletes, which I appreciate the NDAs, so I can't name some of their names. But some of the fittest athletes in pro tennis, you might know some of their names. We work with them also, as well as Hollywood actors and actresses. So to answer your question, some people do and don't know. They see me in one world, in one segment, wearing a T-shirt or with a certain athlete, and they think that that's all that we've done. No, that's just a segment of what we've done. We have a global health and fitness company here. We have a team of registered dietitians and exercise physiologists on staff. We have publications, copywriters, and editors and content creators. We have digital media. We have web experts, web scientists, all working inside the company. We have educational products. We are endorsed by the NSCA, the NASM, and the AFAA as a continuing education provider for their roster of coaches and trainers and such. We do a ton here. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that was informative. And to answer your question, Fab Strong, thank you for asking. By the way, I do appreciate that. Now let's jump back into the chat for those here on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. Bradley Olson, Bradley, F you. And those who don't know, the FU is an inside joke. It's for the algorithm. It means effing unbelievable content. So anybody here, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Consider subscribing. Give this video a thumbs up if I answer your question or provide some sort of value with any of the answers. But leave comments below. Number one is to allow us to create more content for you specific to what your concerns are. But number two, for the algorithm to help us break back into the YouTube good graces and get our content seen. Andrew says, are you still planning on making a video about wrestlers and weighing 2 to 4 times a week? Absolutely. I'm working with wrestlers right now who are literally doing that this week, this month, especially as we roll into tournament season. So we'll have a video on that probably early next week. Pizza Boy says, FU Dolce, shredding season has begun. Let's go. Let's go, baby. You guys can click the links below this video in the description. We have lots of great content. We have personalized diet and exercise programs, even one-on-one private coaching through our VIP Elite program. Lots of great stuff. Click the links below if you want more personal attention. Now, Pizza Boy continues. Mike, what do you think about ESPN increasing the UFC pay-per-view to $75? I know I will be watching much less. Doesn't make financial success for me to spend that with the baby due in a couple weeks. I get it. You know, inflation is a real thing. And let's say that inflation is a real thing. The cost of lumber has gone up. The cost of milk has gone up. The cost of vehicles has gone up. That has all gone up. The UFC is a for-profit company. Let's not get it twisted, right? So let me speak. I'll argue both sides. They are a for-profit company. They are providing a valuable service of entertainment, which is a distraction to the community. And a lot of people want to be distracted. A lot of people will complain about this, but at the same time, they will pay for this. Me personally, I don't. I have not bought a UFC pay-per-view in, I don't even know, years. I haven't bought one in years. Now, I do have a Fight Pass subscription. I think I might have, I probably have the ESPN subscription. Never watched an event. Never watched an event. I go to MMA Junkie or MMA Fighting and I read the reviews. I read the play-by-play. I follow along. I'm usually in bed at 9:30 at night. True story. I'm usually in bed at 9:30 at night. So I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to stay up anymore and watch these fights. This is me personally, a 45-year-old, married, father of 2 kids, 3 businesses, busy. I'm not staying up until midnight to watch something that I can just read about in the morning. True story. That's me personally. I don't begrudge the UFC. I don't begrudge the athletes getting the pay-per-view points. I want to see everybody make a shit ton of money. But I'm not paying that. I'm not paying that. I'm going to take that $75. I'm going to invest that into a S&P 500 index fund, and or a 529 for my kids. I got 2 kids I got to send to college in about 10 years. I'm not spending that. Me personally, I'm not doing that. Now, I get to go to some events. And now I privilege over here. I get to go some events. I get tickets to events. I'm gifted tickets. I get to sit ringside and cage side. I get passes to hang out backstage sometimes. I've been to, fuck, I don't even know. If I said 100 UFC events, I might be undershooting that. I've gone to, I saw George St. Pierre get knocked out by Matt Serra, and I saw George St. Pierre come back and beat Matt Serra. I saw John Jones win the UFC world title, beating Mauricio Shogun Rua. I saw Brock Lesnar get beat down by Cain Velasquez. I was standing there cage side when Robbie Lawler fought my man Carlos Condit, who I was working with for that event. I was there cage side when Miesha Tate fought Ronda Rousey in their coveted grudge match. I was literally on the stage for many of these events when Vitor Belfort fought Anderson Silva and Akiyama and Michael Bisping. You know, I've been a part of a lot of these events. To be fair, like I don't want to overspeak it. So in a way, I'm desensitized. $75 is a lot of cash, though. It's up to you. Is it worth it to you? Now, some people will blow $75 on utter crappy nonsense. They'll blow $75 on some beers, hanging out, eating wings, watching football. Well, I'm not doing that. I'll rent a pay-per-view before I do that. Bradley Olson says, Coach, this is going to sound dumb, but at 47, how can I find the confidence to leave a great paying job and start something for myself? I am scared of not providing for my family. Let me answer that for you. So when I was it 26, 28, I left a high-paying job. I was working as a real estate professional. I was a certified municipal tax assessor. I was making over 6 figures per year in my mid-20s. That's when I received the offer from Robert Follis and Randy Couture to be the head strength and conditioning coach for Team Quest. That salary was $36,000. I was taking a 75% pay cut to take this job. I took the job. And when I got there, Follis told me, oops, sorry, we don't have the budget to pay you the $36K. We said we were. We can pay you $8 an hour, $4 a day, which turned out to be $32 per day before taxes to be the gym janitor. That's a true story. I married my girl, packed my truck, drove across the country, didn't find out that they kind of bait and switched my salary. But here's what I did. I worked my ass off. I stacked up cash. I had 6 months of living expenses sat in the bank. So if I failed completely, I would still be able to pay my bills for those 6 months. And I knew I could always swing a hammer. I could dig a ditch. I have no problem working hard. I grew up in the dirt. I grew up blue collar. I can work my ass off. I will work my ass off. I can bust tables and serve drinks and personal train and frame houses. I could do all of that. I have no problem working hard. When I was 8 years old, I worked on charter fishing boats as what is known as a dock rat. When I was 12 years old, I was the third mate on tuna boats going 2 days out into the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Think about that, 12 years old. Rain and cold and sleet and snow didn't matter. That's, you know, watch Deadliest Catch. I was doing that at 12 years old. I was scrubbing boats at 8, 9, 10, 11 years old for $2, $3, $4, $5 a day. Real story. I have no problem with hard work. So, Bradley, I ask you, number one, do you have a problem with hard work? Will you bust your ass every waking moment of every single day? Will you delay gratification? Will you stack cash? Will you build that war chest in order to live the life you truly want to live? Because I will ask you, if you keep living the life you're living right now, how happy will you be 5 years from now, 10 years from now? What type of model will you be setting for your family? Now, don't make bad decisions. I'm a finance guy. I'm a math guy. Everything I do is very analytical, but at the same time, I made that jump. I pulled the boat as close to the dock as I could get it, and I made the jump into that boat. Now I live the life that I never dreamed I would be able to live, and I had to bust my ass. I had to scrub literally for a year. I worked as the gym janitor at Team Quest North, one of the dirtiest, filthiest gyms in the world, from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. True story, and every athlete there knows. And I would clean the gym 4 hours per day for $8 an hour, and then I would coach the world's greatest athletes for free. until I finally earned the credibility with the athletes that they would start breaking me off $15 a session, $25 a session, $50 a session. And slowly I was able to build my own niche, build my own career. That's my answer to you, Bradley. Ask me any follow-ups if you have them. Andrew says, you mentioned in Charles Oliveira's story about him being 5 pounds over with 130 left till 8 in, and you said you would be able to get that off. What method would you go about doing that? 5 pounds over with an hour and a half left. Well, really what you want to do, number one, is you want to cool the body down. Here's the problem. Most of the time, athletes cutting weight, they don't cool down. Big problem a lot of weight cutting athletes do. They go from the hot tub, they go from the sauna, they leave the sauna where they're literally cooking themselves. They come out of that, they wrap themselves in towels and plastics and sleeping bags. They crank up the heat and they keep cooking themselves, which is why all of a sudden the body dries up. And you hear them say all the time, I don't know what happened. I just stopped sweating. I was in the sauna for an hour and I stopped sweating. I don't know what happened. They don't know what happened because they're listening to a fool. There's a fool in their camp who doesn't understand biochemistry, does not understand physiology, and is literally killing them. What I would do is, and this happened with Thiago Alves when he was fighting Papi Abidi over in England. Now he had lots and lots of weight cutting issues before we started working with him, and he had some, in my opinion, some psychological issues, some PTSD, which has a biochemical manifestation on his physical being, and he had some issues cutting weight nearly every single time. But we were able to overcome that by taking a break and cooling him down completely. He wanted, and his coach was like, no, he's got to heat. You got to get him in the sauna, Dolce. And they're speaking in Portuguese as if, and I understand Portuguese. They didn't know that. Now, I understand Portuguese. I understand what they're saying. They're completely wrong. They don't know what they're talking about. Well, the best thing to do, and this is what worked, I took him down. I took him outside. I cooled him off completely. Excuse me. I de-stressed him. I brought his core temperature all the way down. Then we were able to easily heat him back up. The weight fell off. And we're only talking, there was just like a pound or so. I forget what the weight was. And he came back, made weight on the second attempt. Now, everybody was off, by the way. Mark Munoz was off. Chris Lieben was off. Everybody was off because the UFC test scale was off at that point. But we were able to fix that, no problem. Angel, what's up, Angel? F you, Uncle Mike. Linking up with a trainer in town that is opening up her studio where I will be coming in to help on the nutrition side. Thinking of an NASM personal trainer cert. Thank you for everything. Angel, I love it. Angel Poblano, so you guys know, is a Dolce Diet certified nutrition coach. And now he's working on his NASM PT, which I love. We are actually a NASM CEU provider. So anyone who needs their CEU units or continuing education units, we can actually provide that through our educational conferences. So I love NASM. I'm a big fan of NASM and the NSCA. So I love that. And we have the Mastering the Weight Cut seminars coming up soon at the end of January. And we have our next Dolce Diet Certification Fitness Conference coming up soon. You'll be hearing about that soon. Charlie Harper, my man. What's up, Charlie? Are all seed oils bad for you? Palm oil, olive oil, canola oil, avocado oil? No, all seed oils are not bad for you. In fact, most seed oils are not bad for you. Canola oil, we don't use. Palm oil, we don't use. We stick primarily to an extra virgin olive oil served at room temperature or cooler. That has a very low heat threshold. And here's one of the things. It's the stability of the oil that matters. An avocado oil we will use to cook at low temperatures. We will also use a coconut oil or a peanut oil. Like peanut oil we'll use in more Asian-inspired recipes. A coconut oils, give it like our pitbull pancakes or East Coast breakfast toast, or maybe our thoroughbred fried chicken. We'll use coconut oil on that. Avocado oil is much more of a neutral oil. But no, don't believe a lot of the BS that's out there. That seed oils are bad. Seed oils are bad. Absolutely, they are not bad. But the right seed oil served in the right way, that matters. Angel says, my clients are all crushing their goals. The Dolce Diet over everything. Shout out to the GOAT, Lindsay, our registered dietitian, Professor Lindsay Howard. That's right. How many reps or sets do you recommend hitting for a solid body weight workout? Well, that depends on your ability to recover. I'm not sure specifically. It's hard to say. If I say, hey, perform 1 set of body weight squats, 1,000 repetitions, go. Yikes. Good luck making 1,000 repetitions. So it's hard to say. I've done a bunch of different videos. I don't want to, push past this topic, but I've done a lot of different videos on how to structure the right routine, what's the best set and rep scheme, what's the right percentage of 1RM. And I've actually, you look back over the last 2 weeks here in this channel on our video catalog, you will see those. Have you seen the guy eating raw meat? He was just on Mark Bell's podcast. What do you think? I think he's I don't want to talk bad about people, but I think he's misinformed. Like, what's he trying to prove? What's the point? What's the point? Good luck to him. I can't wait. I don't want to say I can't wait until he gets sick, but eventually he'll get sick. He'll eat something bad. It'll make himself sick. There's so many stories about people getting certain bacterias from eating undercooked meat. What's the point? Why not just cook your meat, dude? And he's not very fit. The kid's not very fit, to be fair. He does not look very strong. And dare I say, he doesn't look very healthy. So would I do that? Why would I want to be less fit, less strong, less lean, less sexy, and less healthy? To do what? It's all clickbait, in my opinion. Daniel, what's up, brother? Should high school wrestlers cut weight? Yes, within reason. All of our wrestlers, we want to keep them within 4% of their weight class. People say, well, that's not a lot. Exactly. We want our wrestlers walking around within 4% of their weight class, which means they should only be 104% above their weight class at any given time. Right? So if you wrestle, let's say at 200 pounds for easy math, you should never weigh more than 208. If you wrestle 100 pounds, you should never weigh more than 104. Simple. Alejandro, I'll answer this in a second. Alejandro says, hey, coach, why are you not in the UFC anymore? Are you still helping UFC fighters with their nutrition? Thanks. Yes. So I consult with the UFC. I consult with UFC fighters. I consult with UFC management teams. I consult with UFC-related coaches, as well as Bellator and ONE FC and every other major organization and athlete. Why do you not see me on stage anymore? Because I've been there, done that. That's like saying, Dolce, why are you not in 6th grade anymore? I've graduated past that. Remember, I was the guy. My team was the team. Our brand was the brand that created the entire industry. Between 2005 and 2015, we dominated the UFC. We dominated the stage, and our team is the only team with a 100% success ratio in 20 plus years working with the world's greatest combat athletes. That is true. You can Google it. You can figure it out. Never, ever, ever did we ever have one athlete ever miss weight or underperform. So we are the best in the industry, but we grew past that. Now, why did we grow past that? Because in 2014, my wife and I decided it was time to have a family. Now, in 2014, 2013, 2012, I was on the road over 280 days per year that I could prove to my accountant. Real story. Now, could you imagine being on the road 280 plus days per year and have a family and be present? No way. We decided it was time to pivot our business, to reprioritize our time so I could be at home with my children, so I could raise my children, so I could be there when my children woke up and I could be there when my children went to bed, so I could go home and have lunch with them. My office right now, I am half a mile from my front door. I was just literally, it's snowing in New Jersey. I was shoveling the walkways and everything on my property and building a snowman with my kids until 11 o'clock. Then we all ate lunch together. Now I'm here doing this with you. I have a few emails, a couple consultations. I'll be home by 2 o'clock so I can be with my children. I prioritize what's most important in my life, and that is being a present father to my children. That's why you do not see me on UFC stages anymore. That's why you don't see me traveling with UFC fighters. I do not prioritize that. Now, I got 3 UFC fighters who are actually calling me here in a little while, and I'm going to do a consultation with them, just like I do a consultation with you guys. regular hardworking folks, or Hollywood actors and actresses, or high net worth CEOs. I do virtual consultations every single day. You guys can book me at dolcedietshop.com, or you can become a VIP elite private training member at thedolcediet.com. You can click the links below. That's fine. I do that all day, every day. I do not travel anymore. I priced myself out of travel. Very, 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 very famous boxer just contacted me not long ago, wanted to fly me out to be a part of their training camp for like 8 weeks or so. Money is an option, they said. Well, I priced myself so high that, yeah, money was an issue. I intentionally priced myself so high that if they said yes, I simply couldn't turn it down. But priced myself so high, they would have to be crazy to hire me. True story. I've prioritized my life to be with my family, to be with my children, to raise my children. I am a dad before anything else. I get to deal with, and I get to hang out with you guys. Think about this. I get to hang out right now with you guys, answering questions live and engaging and helping. There are people out there right now for free because of this video, because of the questions, because of the answers. We will be able to provide tremendous value to your life that you would not have had. That's what I get to do every single day, and it's an honor and a blessing. The Logan says, hey, Mike, do you eat ketchup? Yes, I do. If so, what brand? Whatever's organic, whatever's at Whole Food. I mean, when I have ketchup, it's just like a little squirt. That's it. And I put it in the side of the plate. I'll take a scoop of whatever I'm eating. I'll dip it slightly into the ketchup and I'll eat it that way. I don't squeeze it all over the product. YouTube user says, Coach, doing LISS every morning, 75 minutes approximately, was doing spurts of jogging to go further. Average at 4 miles an hour, now paying attention to heart rate. Even at a brisk walk, it's 120, 130s. Go slower. I would go a little slower and I wouldn't go quite as far. I would bring it back down to about 45 minutes and see what happens from there. Later on in the day, you can get your heart rate up higher. We have, there's 4 primary types of training. We have LISS, we have MISS, we have HIIT, and we have HIRT. Let me explain those. LISS, low intensity, steady state cardiovascular activity. That's walking. We have MISS, moderate intensity, steady state cardiovascular activity. That's jogging. We have HIIT, high intensity interval training. That is sprinting and recovering, Then we have HIRT, high intensity resistance training, swinging kettlebells, bench pressing, squatting, doing chin-ups and pull-ups and all the other stuff. LISS, MISS, HIIT, and HIRT. You need to prioritize that style of training to make sure that you are truly well-rounded with what you're doing. That's where you will get the best benefits. Alejandro says, hey, Coach, answered that already. Hopefully, I think I was very honest, of course, and very specific. Bradley says, thanks, Coach. Very inspirational and informative. Bradley, I'm in your corner, man. Work your ass off, stack that cash, build that war chest. Do not spend money on anything that is not necessary, not essential. Stack that cash. 3 rules of money I teach my children. Number 1 is make money every single day. Every single day, Monday through Sunday, you should be making money, earning money every single day. Figure it out every single day. Rule number 1 is make money. Rule number 2, save your money. Protect your money. Violently protect your money. You work so hard to make your money. Rule number 2 now is you must protect it safely. Rule number 3, teach your money to make more money. If you figure out these 3 rules of money, if you repeat these 3 rules of money, if you manifest these 3 rules of money, you will never have money issues again. Make money every single day. There's no days off. Every single day. Warren Buffett makes money every single day. Elon Musk makes money every single day. Jeff Bezos makes money every single day. Your broke-ass brother-in-law, your broke-ass neighbor only makes money when they show up to work. And what happens? They come home from work and they spend that money. So they didn't follow rule number 1. They didn't protect their money. Rule number 2. And now they are not teaching their money to make more money. Rule number 3. That's why they're always broke. Do the opposite, and you will not have to worry about money anymore. I'm happy to do an entire financial conversation for you guys. I coach a lot of coaches. I teach people how to run businesses. I run 3 very successful businesses myself. Some of you are aware, some of you are not. That's fine. But I'm happy to answer any specific questions in my VIP Elite program at thedolcediet.com. Many of my members are strictly business related, financially related. right? So if you have business issues, financial issues, check out the VIP Elite. I can coach you 30 days, no problem. Or if maybe it's health and fitness, weight loss, happy to do that too. Whatever I can do, I'm here to help you guys, add value. Ryan S. Hey, coach, what's your opinion on salting food? Yeah, I salt food all the time. Of course. Dolce, why do a lot of medical doctors look like they are in such bad health? Because they are in bad health. They are in bad health. Most medical doctors are in shit health. Number one, they're super stressed out. They're terrible at time management. They're human just like you and I. They're emotional beings. They got shitty relationships. They're in tremendous amounts of debt from school debt. They're still paying off their school debt. They're hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt into their 40s and 50s. They likely had to pay hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars to buy themselves into a practice. They are swimming in debt. They're dealing with all of the healthcare, health insurance regulations. They're getting squeezed by the government, all the oversight committees. They're terrified of being sued. I feel bad for a lot of doctors. I work with a lot of doctors as private clients. I actually help a lot of doctors fix their practices. I help a lot of doctors determine or turn their practices around and become cash flow positive. It's an interesting conversation, but also we work on their health quite a bit. They don't know how to eat properly. Medical doctors get zero education on nutrition. In fact, every one of our DDCs, our Dolce Diet certification and nutrition conferences, we have medical doctors that are up in our group because they are proactive, they are progressive, and they're like, man, I learned absolutely nothing in medical school. I'm just trying to educate myself. They come through our course. They go to Precision Nutrition. There's a couple other ones out there. I love them because they're truly trying to educate themselves. Most doctors, I'm not mad at them. They're so stressed out. They're so stressed out. And just like you and most people, they don't take good care of themselves. Doctors are focused on sick care. And they'll tell you that. They are not focused on health care. A doctor will not keep you healthy, which is the avoidance of sickness. A doctor can help you go from being sick back to healthy again. Most doctors that I come in contact with are rather sick. Hey, coach, what's your opinion? And Ryan, thank you so much for the super chat donation. Also, Bradley, thank you for the super chat donation. I appreciate that greatly. Hey, coach, what's your opinion on salting healthy food? I answer that. Sorry, it's Ryan. Excuse me. Ryan said, I answered that, didn't I? I did answer that, but what's your opinion on salting healthy food? Is it a good idea for an active individual? Yes. We typically consume anywhere between 3 to 6 grams of sodium per day, being relatively healthy, active individuals. Now, medical history matters, age matters, genetics matter, family history matters, lifestyle matters, activity level matters. This all matters. But for those healthy, active, athletic adults, consuming somewhere between 3 to 6 grams of sodium per day is likely ideal. Likely ideal. Talk to your doctor about that. Sam, what's up, Sam? Good to see you, man. Says, hey, coach, hope you're doing good. What would you recommend for an MMA athlete struggling with cardio? Thanks for the awesome content. Number one is nutrition. Is your nutrition on point? You're struggling with your cardio, likely because you don't have the right energy substrates currently available to you. You might be carrying excessive, non-functional body weight that's slowing you down. It's like you have a 20-pound backpack on. Take that off. Immediately, you have more energy to do the things you should be doing. Are you in an optimal body weight? If not, click the link below and join our 3 weeks to shredded program. It is a 4-week program designed to get you in the absolute best shape of your life. This is the program based upon our #1 best-selling book, 3 weeks to shredded. That is now an online personalized diet and exercise program completely unique to the individual user. I will give you right now my Save 30 promo code to save 30%. Down below, it'll give you a 20% discount promo code Transform. I will give you my private Save 30 promo code to save 30% just to incentivize you to get started, Sam. There's also an exercise program built in there unique to you also. That is the way to do it. Get your nutrition right first. Are you sleeping optimally? 7.5 to 9 hours per night. Go to bed 9 hours before you're supposed to wake up each and every day. Push all dysfunctional, toxic people out of your life. Avoid all stressful situations. Start thinking good thoughts about yourself. reinforcing positive energy and positive attitudes. Watch how quickly you change physically. Charlie says, how the heck did Bang Ludwig cut all that weight back in the day? The Dolce Diet. And Bang will tell you that. I love Dwayne. Dwayne is like my brother, right? My brother from another mother. I love Dwayne. He's one of my best friends in the whole entire world, someone I look up to. He's a great human being. And back when Dwayne Bang Ludwig story, Dwayne Ludwig was offered a chance to get back into the UFC after being on the region. He was in the UFC, got the fastest knockout in the UFC, and then he was cut from the UFC a little while later, and then he was on the regional circuit, earning his way back up. He had a big win, I think, over Waylon Lowe, if I remember, in Denver, Colorado. Big win early December. Holidays came. Dwayne got fat. Dwayne got up to 198 pounds. And Joe Silva called him after Christmas, before New Year's, and said, Dwayne, you have an opportunity to come back into the UFC on short notice and fight Jim Miller at 155 pounds. Dwayne said, let me call Dolce. Dwayne calls me and he said, here's the deal. I said, love it. What do you weigh? He said, 198. So what do you want to do? He said, I want to do it. I said, let's do it. I got on a plane that night, that night, 13 days before the event. I literally got on a plane. My wife is amazing. Told her what's going on. She said, I'll see you later. I get on a plane that night, fly to Colorado, and we got to work. Dwayne went from 198 to 156 in 13 days. That's a 42-pound weight loss in 13 days. Goes out there, fights Jim Miller in a very exciting fight, and then moves on and continues his UFC career. Wound up making a really big bag of money for himself and his family. I would not suggest that. And if it wasn't Dwayne Ludwig, and if it wasn't the relationship I had with Dwayne and his amazing wife, Jess, if it wasn't those two humans, those two individuals, if I didn't already spend so much time working with Dwayne over the years and living with Dwayne and his family over the years and knowing Dwayne as a human, as a person, and as a competitor, and knowing his body and having his blood work and all the other stuff, I would have said no way. But only because it was Dwayne, I knew he could do it. I knew we could do it. Monty says, should Paulo Acosta be fighting at 185? Well, he can fight at 185 if he's disciplined and professional, but unfortunately, Paulo Costa has not been disciplined, nor has he been professional. Maybe he's had an epiphany. I don't know. I'm not in his camp. I don't know his team. I really don't know anything about him other than what you guys know. I hear a little bit of behind the scenes hubbub. People love to text me stuff here and there, but we'll see. I think he's a specimen. He's a great athlete. I think he'd be better at 205, to be honest with you. Jeremy says, how do you feel about snacking on unsalted mixed nuts? I'm in. That's a go-to for me. It's in my backpack right now. When I travel, it's in my truck. When I'm on a plane, it's with me. Absolutely. I'm in. Good question. Not Yo Abe says, I enjoy doing 15 to 20 minute metcons using bodyweight dumbbells and kettlebells as a part of my fitness routine. How would you integrate using metcons into full body training? A couple times a week, depending. It's goal specific, sport specific, field specific. What are your goals? What are you trying to accomplish? What are your imbalances? What are your insufficiencies? What are you trying to create? What do you enjoy? I'm across the street from a CrossFit gym. All day long, they're doing metcon stuff. All day long, they're doing metcon stuff. I don't see them doing specific skilled barbell work. Now, I don't see everything they're doing, but I can see them almost every single day. So they're basically following the passion of the coach, the programming. And it's all metcon, all metcon, all metcon, all metcon. I don't see a lot of barbell skill work going on over there. I don't see a lot of absolute power generation going on over there. I would probably scale it slightly differently. But they still seem to enjoy it. They're busy. They're having fun. They're high-fiving. They're smiling. They got pink socks on and wearing little tummy shirts. These are the guys, by the way. The ladies are, something a completely different beast. But what do you enjoy doing? I'd say in general, metcons, 1 to 3 metcons a week. You want to do 1 to 3 absolute, barbell type movements, 1 to 3 barbell movements throughout the week, heavy specific power explosive work. You want to do some body weight conditioning 1 to 3 times per week. You want to focus on some endurance training 1 to 3 times per week. On average, balance it out. But then you can go through phases where you're more on the absolute strength side and you minimize the metcon and the endurance stuff. And then you go a little bit more metcon, less absolute strength. Then you periodize your training throughout the year. Chris says, any suggestions to heal elbow tendon injury? I strained it during pulling workout over a month ago. By the way, I'm 56 years old, ex-athlete. Chris, I love it. I love your age. I love the fact that you're out there pushing hard. Honest, real answer, and most fitness, internet fitness experts will not say this. You need to go to a doctor of physical therapy. You need to get evaluated by a licensed, qualified, hands-on technician. Now, if you were here inside my studio, well, I could help you. I could give you some hands-on, real-world insight into what may be happening. But I would also refer you out to a doctor of physical therapy to take another deeper look and make sure that you don't aggravate the injury and get you healed and healthy as fast as possible. When I get hurt, I go to a doctor of physical therapy, even though I'm pretty sure I know what it is, even though I'm pretty sure I know how to fix it. I will still pay the $50 and go to a DPT and let them take another look and get a second objective opinion. Real talk. You got to take good care of yourself. MMA says, thoughts on fasted cardio for fat loss. We love it. We speak about it all the time. In fact, we are one of the most notable proponents of low intensity fasted cardio as being ideal for fat loss. What is that? Low intensity, steady state cardiovascular activity performed while fasted, which is the absence of insulin, preferably first thing in the morning, because that is the most fasted you will be, 8-9 hours of no food. That's ideal. The lowest relative circulating insulin allows for a much greater release of stored fat due to the relationship with the alpha and beta receptors inside the fat cell. They more efficiently release stored fat, specifically in the stubborn fat areas that get less blood flow. Think love handles. I mean, feel your love handles right now. I guarantee you, your love handles right now, go skin to skin. Your love handles right now are probably cold as compared to your upper chest, which is probably warm. Why? Or your shoulders. Why is that? Less blood flow. Less blood flow, less fat loss, less efficient. Zhao says, hey, coach, what can you tell me about carnivore-ish diet? Carnivore and the least toxic plants. I think it's fucking bullshit. It's bullshit. Carnivore-ish is not carnivore-ish. Carnivore-ish is a marketing term used by assholes who are trying to trick you and steal your money. Carnivore-ish is omnivorous. If you're eating animal products and you're eating plant products, you are an omnivore. Full stop. So Carnivore MD and a bunch of these other dillheads out there who are lying to you, intentionally lying to you. I don't think they're stupid. I think they are intentionally lying to you to slang products to you. Fuck them. Pardon my language, but not the intention. They are lying to you. You are not following carnivore if you're also eating any plants. A single blueberry, you're not a carnivore anymore. You're a fucking omnivore. As all humans are, as our species is, as we're designed to be, as the longest living humans are, as the greatest performing athletes are. We are omnivores. So this whole carnivore-ish thing is a marketing gimmick. Just like keto was, just like BCAAs are, just like paleo, it's a fucking gimmick. And anyone who pushes that is lying to you, A, because they're an idiot and they don't know any better, or B, because they're trying to steal your fucking money. Full stop. Quote me on that too, by the way. Please quote me on that. Hey, Mike, appreciate the Q&A here and Insta. Lots of great info. How long after LISS should you have your first meal? For me, it's almost immediately. The length of a shower. I'll come home from my LISS first thing in the morning. I'll get off the elliptical. I'll take a quick shower. I'll go upstairs. I'll eat. Anywhere between 5 and 15 minutes. Afterwards, there's as soon as I'm done the exercise, it's time to eat for me. Because I've already been fasting 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours sometimes. Right? If I have dinner at 5:30, have a little snack around 7, I'm in bed at 9:30, I'm awake at 5:30, I perform my LISS until 6:30. By 7 o'clock, I'm fucking ready. We're talking about, it's 11 or so hours. Fasted. I'm ready to eat, baby. Sam says, cheers, coach. Cheers, Sam. Good to see you. Lauren says, is there a reason why coming off a rest day, the next day, doing HIIT, high intensity interval training, I'm assuming you meant HIIT, feel like there is a lead weight in the body? Following day, I'm able to do HIIT the second day and I feel great. Great question. Now, I could debate myself back and forth as to why, and I don't know of any specific hard data that will support any true conclusion. So I'm not going to pretend that I have an evidence-based answer for you. But what I will say is the body is prone to lethargy. The body loves to do what? Nothing. The body loves homeostasis. Just leave me here. Go on without me. I'll just sit in this chair until I die. Right? Right? An object in motion tends to stay in motion. An object not in motion requires a Herculean effort to get it moving. But once it's moving, it feels great. So what we typically do with our athletes, specifically in training camps, we do like to have a we want our athletes training 7 days a week. We want them moving their body 7 days a week for this specific reason. Even if day 7, which is Sunday, that's where they do active recovery. They go to the beach and they swim. They play frisbee or play with the slack line. They get a massage in the sauna. They do something. They foam roll. They do yoga. We want them to do something active recovery. And then on Monday, we start transitioning back into skills training, drilling. Typically Tuesday and Friday are the 2 hardest days of training, as we typically prefer on the average program. Because Monday allows more drilling, more transition. The body's getting up, it's going. Not so much that we're crushing it, destroying it, so we don't have the energy. And on Tuesday, we fucking push. And then we kind of cycle back down Wednesday and Thursday, and then bang, we're ready to crush again, high intensity block on Friday, more active recovery on Saturday, Sunday, and then we start to cycle back up again. I hope that helps, Lawrence. Chris says, thanks for all the quality of info and classy way you don't dog competitors. I appreciate it. I'm not that guy. Right? There's a bunch of idiots out there, fools out there, horrible humans out there. And it's hard for me to not call them out by name, but what good does that do? I understand that even if they're terrible human beings, they're also human beings with families that are associated with them. And I'm not here to bash humans, but I will aggressively attack ideas, false ideas. Like I will aggressively attack that. And you know, I do my best. Thanks for your videos in 3 weeks of shredded program really changed my life and understanding of nutrition. I shed 30 pounds of unuseful weight last year. How awesome is that? 30 pounds down following our 3 weeks to shredded program. That is awesome. That is not surprising for me because I see it every single day with just amazing humans all day. We're inundated by great testimonials. So thank you. If anyone is interested, click the link below this video for our 3 weeks to shredded or living lean program available at thedolcediet.com. And I will give you the 30% discount promo code SAVE30, SAVE30, SAVE30 only for you guys. It's not promoted anywhere. Feel free if you want to check it out, do so. Zach says, can you recommend a gluten-free whey protein? Yeah, the Dolce Whey. I have my own cold processed, cross-flow, microfiltered, grass-fed organic whey protein isolate. It is called The Dolce Whey. You can click the link below this video and get your own The Dolce Whey. It's sold by Metcon. It's a license agreement we have with Metcon, metcon.com/Dolce, and use the Dolce promo code, save 20%. Why not? If you need a whey protein isolate, the Dolce Whey is the way to go. Micah says, Mike, how important is stretching for flexibility? I lift, but also do jujitsu. I just think I might need to add stretching routine as well. You do. You have to focus on active mobility. Now, you can be overly flexible. Hypermobile is a bad thing. You have to be mobile enough to not get injured, mobile enough to express strength through the full range of motion, but not so mobile that you are now risking injury and the muscles are over lengthened, which happens often. Many injuries we see, it's because the over lengthening of one muscle and the under lengthening, the inability of another muscle to fully lengthen. So there should be optimal mobility. Cole says, what's up, coach? Got my morning 1 hour listen at 5:30 a.m. during the North Jersey snowstorm. Amen. I got my, well, it wasn't technically LISS. Well, maybe it was because I was pushing the snowblower for a little bit, shoveling the walkways and whatnot for my home, for my neighbors' houses, and then building a snowman with my kids. So I got my, it wasn't technically LISS, but I got a good hour and a half out there with everybody today. It was a fun one. George says, Mike, thoughts on band work? 1 push day per week. My training partner likes to throw a couple bands over the barbell for flat bench. That's fine. I'm not mad about that. I would actually look into Louis Simmons and Westside Barbell to best understand the way that they implement bands into their training. I believe that Louis Simmons innovated the use of bands into training, and this is going back 20 plus years. So look into Louis Simmons, Westside bands. Just go down that fucking rabbit hole. I went down that rabbit hole 20 plus years or so ago. And Louis knows more on this than probably anybody else on the planet. Not Yo says, your answer on how to integrate metcons into a routine is extremely helpful. Thank you. That's what my job is. My job is to provide you with the most honest, actionable, and evidence-based information to dramatically improve your life. Thank you. That's what I do. That's all I do. That's all I want to do. And hopefully you guys can tell that's why I'm here. That's why I do what I do. I'm here to help you. Whatever I can do to help you. That's what I'm here to do. And I appreciate that. Thank you for saying that. Charles says, is it okay to do your workout right after your morning LISS? No. Especially if you have the energy or you want to save time. No. I would say no. Well, what's your goal? What are you trying to accomplish? I like to separate those. If you're training low intensity cardio, you probably want to train higher intensity resistance later on, 4-6 hours later, minimum. You want to get at least 2 meals in for sure. You want to wake up the body more. It's hard. You can have a fasted PR at high intensity, but your fasted PR at high intensity will never equal your fed PR at high intensity. Think about that. So is your goal just to be busy? That's fine. General fitness, that's fine. But if you're really looking to hit PRs and crush goals, you need to break those training sessions up a little bit. George, looks like you already asked that question. I already answered it for you. So ask me if you have a follow-up. Thanks a lot, Zhao. You got it. Happy to do so. MMA says, what do you think of Conor putting on size for MMA? Any benefits? No benefits. I mean, he's probably going at 170, but I don't think he's well suited for 170 when you look at guys like Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman at 190 is yoked, ripped. I've stood next to Usman. Usman's a big dude. Colby Covington at 170 is like 3 weight classes bigger than Conor. Colby is yoked in person. Colby Covington is steel. Usman is steel. Conor looks great. I'm a fight fan of Conor. You've never heard me say anything bad athletically about Conor McGregor. Conor is hurt. Conor is rich. Conor is well fed, and he looks like it. He does not look like he's in shape. He's not in MMA shape, dare I say, and I think he would agree right now. He's got to lose a good 15, 20 pounds in order to get back into 3-round high glycolytic output shape. And that's always been a struggle for Conor, especially when he was working with Zero Integrity George. Much better under Tristan Kennedy. Monty says, can you recommend some of the other health and fitness YouTube channels that you follow? Yeah, what do I like? I like Derek over at More Plates, More Dates. That's fun. I like my buddy Leo at Leo and Longevity. That's fun. Anything else that I follow? Stan Efferding is a buddy of mine. I like Mark Bell and see him, but I don't agree with a lot of the information that they put out, to be fair. Who else? I think Impact Theory, Tom Bilyeu of Impact Theory, former creator of Quest Nutrition, creator of Quest, but he's not with them anymore. Sold the company off for a pretty big number. I like some of the stuff that he puts out. But really, when it comes to fitness, I don't really watch YouTube fitness for education. I watch it more just for entertainment. Like I'll watch Nick Strength and Power just to like update on some bodybuilding stuff. Although I disagree with bodybuilding, I get most of my fitness information from Google Scholar, from PubMed, more from the research papers and journals. That's where I get most of my information from. Our team will have a few meetings per week, and we'll speak about what's new. Everybody has to grab a new piece of content, something that they read, something that they found, a new study that they came across, and we will workshop that. But when it comes to YouTube fitness, that is more entertainment. I'm honestly, when I watch YouTube, it's all about finances. Like I go down the financial rabbit hole primarily on YouTube. Lots of Michael Saylor, lots of Raoul Paul on the crypto side. I'll watch the traditional Yahoo Finance, CNBC, just to see what the eggheads are doing out there. I do lots of like Warren Buffett, Jack Bogle, like the old school investing, Peter Lynch, the old school investing strategies. What else do I do? More like, kind of newer age, like the Money Guy show with Bo and Brian, or Dave Ramsey. I listen to that stuff quite a bit. The Millionaire Unveiled is another fun show. They just like weekly interviews with millionaires who talk about their story. So most of my YouTube time is really on the financial side, but it's more of a YouTube to me is mostly entertainment. Now, this channel is designed to provide honest, actionable, and evidence-based information. And I believe we do this better than anyone else. We just don't have the following yet because of the shadow ban due to the CV word that cannot be said. And we spoke out about the importance of personal health, and we were shadow banned as if we were saying something wrong. And it's funny now that CNN reports it. And literally what we said a year and a half ago that got us shadow banned on Facebook, Instagram, and here on YouTube. Well, now that's all of a sudden it's true. So this is why we ask you guys to subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, click the notification button, give us a little thumbs up, engage with the channel. I know it seems like it's a lot to ask, but this will allow us to get back into the algorithm. The more you guys engage, you've probably noticed how busy we've been in producing new content for you. I mean, I'm an hour, 56 minutes into this live chat right now. I'm going to put another video up in a little while today based upon viewer questions. 2 videos a day, every single day we're putting out here. We're dedicated. We just launched a new channel, the 20-Minute Fitness Network, all for you guys, and it's all completely free. So the only thing that I ask, if we provide any sort of value, just engage for the algorithm. Just engage for the algorithm and ask me a question, please. Like, I love that in the comments. I'll do a video on it. Whatever I can do to help you guys. What book of yours should I get to start the program? Mike, you can start with our 3 Weeks to Shredded program right here. We also have the Living Lean Cookbook, Volume 2, which spent 37 months as an iTunes top 10 download as an independent publisher. That's pretty insane. You can also go to thedolcediet.com. thedolcediet.com. You can start our 4-week or 12-week personalized 3 Weeks to Shredded program or Living Lean program and use my personal promo code SAVE30 to save 30%. You won't see that linked below. It'll give you a 20% discount, which is still pretty awesome, but use the SAVE30 promo code to save 30%. Zhao says, can you give your thoughts on the Kneesovertoesguy methodology? I don't know enough about it. I don't know enough. I would love to get him here on the channel and have a conversation, but we have to get out of the algorithm. I don't want to disrespect other creators with relatively low view count, because I just, maybe I'm wrong in thinking that, but I want to make sure, even if I ask someone to come on, even if I disagree with them, well, I still deserve to give them some value, some views. And until we can break out of this algorithm, this shadow ban algorithm, I just don't know if it's appropriate for me to ask someone to come on the show just yet. But I don't know enough about him. And I've seen some of his exercises, which look good. I've seen some other exercises that look a little bit off. I've heard some of the things he say that make sense, some things he say that don't make sense. I'm 45 years old. I've squatted over 800 pounds multiple times in my life. I've competed as a high-level amateur wrestler, a competitive professional mixed martial artist. I've been training in strength sports my whole life, and my knees are pristine. I don't do a lot of the stuff that he does. I have a different protocol that I use. Doesn't mean his stuff is bad, but I'd love to learn more. And I'd love to get him on and learn more. That's really the best way. It's through open dialogue. B says, F you, Dolce, you the man, brother. I appreciate that. Thank you, B. Good to see you. Monty Hendo found Andy Galpin through Mike's channel. Super informative channel. That's right. I forgot. Andy Galpin is awesome. Dr. Andy Galpin, one of my good buddies. He's awesome. Joe DeFranco is awesome. Those are two good creators out there that I forgot to mention. I'm sure there's some others in our network that we love that are great. Kyle says, started living lean today. I do beast most workouts. Is creatine okay to take on this program, and how much? Yes. You're following the Living Lean online program. Creatine is awesome. I personally take 5 grams of creatine per day. I don't think you need to take any more than that. What should MMA welterweights weigh for a walk around weight? I don't know, somewhere in the low 90s, high 80s, low 90s, probably. If you're cutting weight 2-3 times a year, that's probably ideal. George, you got it, George. Happy too. California says, always right on. Thank you. We work hard for you guys. Milan says, hey, coach, how's it going? It's going well. Thank you for asking. Do you think Cody had a bad cut to 125? He had a better chin at 35. Well, I'd say, yeah. I mean, I don't know if it was a bad cut, but I wouldn't have suggested it for him. Honestly, like, look what happened to TJ Dillashaw. Dillashaw went from 35 to 25 and lost his chin. Cody going from 35 to 25, there will be deleterious effects of that type of additional drop. Cody was already super lean at 135. He had to over dehydrate, in my opinion, to make 25. It's not, and it's not a criticism of Cody or his coach, Mario DiCaprio. I think I said your name wrong. Sorry, brother. Coach Capo, who's great. But to suffer that much to make 25 for no reason made no sense to me. Professionally, it made no sense. Later on in an athlete's career, the athlete should go up in weight, not go down in weight. John says, I'm about to start truck driving. Can I do the diet raw except the oatmeal and the hard-boiled eggs? Well, why would you want to? I don't know why you want to. I travel. I have an Airstream. I mean, I have a skillet, an electric plug-in skillet. Can you use that? Grill up a few pounds of chicken, bring it with you. Maybe make it chili. Like I would make a big ass turkey chili, or I would use a certified Piedmontese, which you can link right there. Is it right there? There. Certified Piedmontese. Click the link below. Go to Piedmontese.com. Grass-fed, grass-finished. Amazing Piedmontese beef delivered to your door at a 25% discount with promo code Dolce. I would make that grass-fed, grass-finished chili. Bring it with me. You can eat that for like 2-3 days, no problem. You can eat it cold. Who cares? Bring a little electric skillet with you. You're good to go. I mean, I guess you can do raw, but why? Why would you limit yourself? What else? Cole says, thoughts on Sean O'Malley. Where should Cody Garbrandt go next? You know, I think O'Malley versus Cody is the fight to make because Sean is on the way up. Cody's on the way down competitively. Cody is a former world title holder and has not seen that type of performance in many years now. He's been struggling. He's at a crossroads. Sean O'Malley is trying to break through. Sean O'Malley versus Cody Garbrandt is the fight to make. And if Cody can beat Sean, well, he just took out a young up-and-comer, and that keeps Cody in the top 10. If Sean can beat Cody, well, that means Sean is now 1 or 2 fights away from a title, which means Sean needs to get paid. I think Sean deserves to get paid. Truly. Sean O'Malley should be getting 6 figures plus just to show up. Another 6 figures plus to win. On a win, a guy like Sean O'Malley, I haven't seen his, what numbers he generates. I don't know what his Q rating is, but kid's got talent. He's put the wins together. He's strategically conducted his career in a very intelligent way. He's a smart guy. He's exciting. He's fun to watch. He does have a loss to Chito Rivera, which matters. Was that a fluke or was that a bad matchup? Put him against Cody. Let's see what happens. Cole says, any recommendation on kettlebell exercises? I have tons. What are you trying to train? I mean, just a traditional kettlebell swing works well. Kettlebell clean and press works well. Turkish get up works well. Even like a kettlebell Russian twist works well. Kettlebell goblet squat into single leg rear lunges works well. Lots of great exercises. Did you see Overeem back on that horse meat? No. No, but if there's any version of Overeem that I love, it's the Overeem who's eating the horse meat, right? Let's call it like it is. Chris says, will it help collab with some of those popular sites you mentioned to recover from the shadow ban? You have the best info online and should be seen by everyone. Yes, I believe so. Who would you like to see me collab with? Leave it in the comments below this video, below the video. Wait till the video posts. I mean, you can throw it in the chat if you want to, but for the algorithm, leave it in the comments below this video. Who would you like to see us collab with? And I will ask you guys to go to those channels and say that they should collab with us. That would be awesome. Will you be making an appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience anytime soon? I do not know. There is nothing scheduled. I think it'd be fun to sit down and talk to Joe. There's a lot of things that he and I disagree on, a lot of things that we definitely agree on. It'd be fun to work those things out a little bit, but I would love to sit with someone like Joe and completely open source why our weight cutting system is the most successful in the history of combat sports. I want to give it all away for free, but I don't know of anyone smart enough other than Rogan who can ask me the questions to pull all this information out of my head. And we can go through, how come Johnny Hendricks never missed weight with us? How come Thiago Alves never missed weight with us? How come Rampage Jackson never missed weight with us? What about Ronda Rousey through all her health issues? Why were Vitor Belfort? Why were we able to have a 100% success ratio while working with the worst athletes in MMA? Kelvin Gastelum never missed weight with us. In fact, Kelvin Gastelum made the championship weight of 170.00 while working with us. Kelvin Gastelum missed weight at middleweight after us. Johnny Hendricks missed weight at middleweight after us. Rampage Jackson missed weight after us. Thiago Alves missed weight before us and after us. Why did everybody make weight with us? And they worked with lots of the other coaches out there, and those coaches failed them. Why is the Dolce Diet the best? I think that would be a great conversation to have with Mr. Rogan. And then we could talk about all the other, different stuff and, why I think keto is silly and carnivores is a marketing term and just really just get back to the basics. Who knows? Favorite MMA fighter? I don't have one. Yeah, I don't have one. You know what? No, that's not fair. I like athletes who are commendable human beings. So let's say we'll say active. A guy like Stipe Miocic, I think is a great guy. A guy like Rob Whittaker, I think Rob's a great guy. Kevin Holland, I've become a fan of Kevin Holland, hearing him speak. I think he's a great guy. Who else is out there? That's good enough. Hey, Coach, by what year do you think the CV will be fully exterminated? Well, it depends. Influenza is not. Common cold is not. This might be around forever. How do we react to it is the question. Unfortunately, it's been highly politicized. You cannot trust the mainstream media. You cannot trust your elected officials. You cannot trust the pharmaceutical companies, and you cannot trust many in the medical industry. Unfortunately, because they are biased. They are not focused on the evidence. They are not telling the truth. They are telling the truth as it suits their own individual narrative, which is why you must listen to all data and then filter it yourself. Cole says, what does your daily routine look like? Let me take a sip. Oh, let's start the time I go to bed. How about that? I typically go to bed between 9 and 9:30 at night. I go to bed sometimes before my kids, sometimes after my kids. My kids will go to sleep anywhere between like 7:30 and 9:30. Depends on what my wife's energy level is. But 9 o'clock, I'm done for the day. 9:15, I'm popping my melatonin. I'm getting ready to go to sleep. 9:30, I'm pretty much in bed, and I'm asleep before 10 o'clock every night. I typically wake up somewhere, between 5:30 and 7, but usually in the 6s, usually in the early 6s. I'll wake up, I'll hydrate, I'll get a little bit of coffee, I'll perform some sort of physical activity, which is going for a walk in my neighborhood. Maybe I ride the bike, maybe I do the elliptical, maybe I just go out in the backyard and do a little bit of yard work. I got a pretty big backyard and I can always be busy out there, which is nice. It depends on the weather. That matters a lot. Come back in the house, take a shower, get my meal going. The family's starting to wake up typically right around that time. The family gets up somewhere between like 7:30 and 9. We homeschool our kids, which is fucking amazing. So we don't have to worry about waking up and going crazy. And everybody gets to wake up naturally in my household. Best thing ever. You do not know happiness You do not know health until you can wake up naturally, and your children can wake up naturally, and there's no stress, and there's no anxiety, and there's no getting ready and getting buses and brushing hair and getting to school on time. None of that in my house. We homeschool. So from there, I get focused on goal setting. What are my goals going to be for the day? What am I going to accomplish for the day? What am I grateful for? I really do take the time and I go through that. It only takes about 10 minutes or so. Then the kids are awake. I get to hang out with the kids, cook for them, eat breakfast with them. My wife cooks, I cook, whatever it turns out to be. Hang out with them for a little while, spend some good morning time. I try and get them outside first thing in the morning early, get their eyes engaged, get them outside to be like living beings, switch on their circadian rhythm, their chronobiology, get life kind of active and start going for them, start them focusing on what do you have going on today? What are you working on today? What are you guys doing in school today? Start to like help them start to goal set. What are they going to accomplish in their day? I very subtly start to plant those seeds into my kid's mind. I don't just defer them over to the laptop or over to the TV. We have no laptop, no technology, no TV for the first hour of them being awake. They can creative play, they can color, they can play with their toys and puzzles and things like that, hang out with the family, but there's no digital stimuli for them. And it's very much, subliminal mentoring. What are you going to do today? What's the goal today? What are we going to accomplish today? Like what games are you going to play today? Like that, we start to put that stuff in. So I hang out with them for a few hours. Then it's like, what does my work schedule look like? Typically, I try not to schedule anything in my here until 10 a.m. is the earliest on most days. Usually 11 o'clock is when I want my first appointments to be. That gives me more family flex time. Real story, true story. Which allows me more time to spend with my kids because maybe it's a beautiful day and they want to go to the park. So we go. They want to go to the beach. So we go. They want to go and, go to the coffee shop with me. So we go. Right. So I want that and allow for that type of flex into my day. And some days are hard scheduled. We have deadlines and things like that. Then I get here, I get to the office. I typically hammer out a bunch of work content like this right now. I mean, I'm an hour and 11 minutes into this live chat. Typically right around 1 o'clock, that's when I physically train myself. So I get to listen first thing in the morning. Now my high intensity training is usually it's 1:11 right now. So once I get done this, I'll put on my Superman cape and I'll jump out onto the training floor and I'll push a really hard workout. Today is a upper body pull day for me. So it's going to be a lot of weighted chins, a bent over rows, a little bit of unilateral single leg deficit deadlifts I'm going to be hitting today. What else? I'm going to work on some rotational core work, which is kind of why I mentioned the kettlebell earlier, kettlebell Russian twist. And I'm going to do some hanging rotational work with the teeters hang-ups that I have over there. From there, then I'll go home and I'll have lunch with the family, which is awesome. So that'll probably be somewhere around 2 o'clock or so. Lunch with the family, hang out with them for a little while, engage in what's going on and just be daddy. Come back here. I got a little bit of work to do, a little bit of cleanup. Go back home. Maybe I got to run to the grocery store. This is like my everyday run to the grocery store, maybe pick up something, bring it home. Brandy's got dinner going. Usually we eat dinner at like 5 o'clock every day. And then from there, I got a few clients that are around the world. So maybe, Australia's just waking up. I got to hop onto a quick call with someone in Australia or Asia or something like that. Between after dinner. So let's say, between like 5:30 and 7. And then it's just like hangout time. We have family movie night. We have game night. My kids are young, 6 and 5 years old. So we still have lots of good stuff to do there. And, that's my typical day. Now food wise, I could do a whole video. I'll probably do like a day of eating in another video. So hopefully that, I mean, pretty specific, right? I mean, nothing crazy, nothing special, but very diligent. I mean, I'm pretty particular with how I prioritize my time, and some people are not. And I would suggest that you be. I'm very specific with how I allocate my time, with how I schedule my time. If you ever book a consult with me, you'll see it's typically booked in 15-minute intervals. Once I'm here, every 15 minutes is very specific. Like I'm creating content. I'm proofreading a new copy that came through. I have my time to run through and answer emails. I have downtime where I literally shut off the lights in the facility. I lay on the floor for 15 minutes and stare at the ceiling in the middle of the day to mentally refresh my batteries. I got a bunch of whiteboards in different parts of the facility that I work on different projects. So I got lots of stuff going on, very, very busy, but I prioritize my time. And that's the one thing I stress to everyone. We all have the same 24 hours in the day. You must prioritize the way you utilize that time. And I always prioritize my family first. Milan says, hey, coach, do you think Jake Paul is on PED, straight up refused any form of drug testing before his last fight with Woodley? Maybe, maybe not. Is Woodley on drugs? Maybe, maybe not. Tommy Fury on drugs? Maybe, maybe not. Right? I don't care. Who cares? Most athletes are on some form of performance-enhancing drug. And I said this yesterday in a different, I think, on our Instagram live chat. What if you take stem cells? Stem cells are more powerful than testosterone, right? Kobe Bryant blew out his Achilles. A-Rod, I think, blew out his knee or his back or something. They flew to Germany. They got highly sophisticated, very expensive stem cell treatment. They were back playing in like 30% of the usual recovery time. Isn't that doping? Way more powerful than testosterone or growth hormone. Peyton Manning, like, fucking destroyed his spine. He had some sort of spinal injury. And allegedly took some growth hormone for a few months to help regenerate and repair that, and was nearly banned from the NFL. Congress was looking into it. That's not nearly as powerful as stem cell treatment. Somehow that's okay. Why is stem cells okay for those who can afford it? But a $40 bottle of testosterone is somehow a bad thing. Like, honestly, think about this. Why can multimillionaire, ultra sophisticated, entitled athletes fly to other countries and spend tens up to hundreds of thousands of dollars for experimental treatments that you and I do not have access to? And they can go and compete in 30% of the time that it would take the average person who might never even come back. That's fine. But a combat, let's say, I don't want to say Jake Paul, but a combat athlete takes a couple hundred milligrams of testosterone for a few weeks in their off season to aid recovery, and all of a sudden they're a pariah of the sport. That just never made sense to me. It never made sense to me. And I know a lot. I'll tell you the truth right now. I know a lot of the people inside of sport, specifically MMA, that are anti-drug use, who take a shit ton of drugs or had in their career. I'll tell you that for fucking sure. So there's a lot of hypocrisy out there. Boris, what's up, Boris? Mike, haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're good. We're good, man. Boris, we are here. We are back. We are coming in hard. 2 videos a day, every single day here on this YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you click like. Make sure you leave comments below, because this channel is driven by you guys. I'm here, baby. 2022. We're going hard in the paint. Best exercises for MMA is MMA. You got to train MMA to get good at MMA. It's like basketball. When people say, like, oh, you know, what's the best way to get better at shooting free throws? You got to shoot free throws. Are you going on anyone else's podcast in the future? Yeah, we have a few ones. I think the Curious Jones podcast is the next one I'll be jumping on. There's a few. I've just been, I don't want to say bad. I have had challenges with time to allow the proper amount of time to jump onto podcasts, but I'm looking to open that up as we get into later January into February. Cole, this is a great question. I'm happy to answer this right now. Why did fighters such as Kelvin, Johnny, Rampage, and Thiago part ways with you after having such amazing success on the scales? They didn't part ways with me. I parted ways with them. I just didn't come out and make a big spectacle about it, because I'm a professional and I'm discreet. And I have other much more famous, much better paying clients that appreciate my discretion. True story. Kelvin, Johnny, Rampage, Thiago, none of them parted ways with me. I parted ways with each of them. I chose not to continue working with them for very specific, more personal reasons, personal and professional reasons. Now, I love Kelvin. I think Kelvin's a great guy. That time in his career, he was misguided and very immature and acting very unprofessional. Johnny, I think Johnny is a sweetheart human being, very unprofessional, serious lifestyle issues that could not be overcome. Rampage, I had worked with Rampage for quite a few years. We had a great run, but like everyone else in Rampage's life, it was time for me to walk away, and walk away I did. And they begged me to stay. And The new coach that he brought in to replace me called me every single day asking for help and complaining. Tiago, it was time for me to leave, simply because he was not open to coaching that he needed. And unfortunately, he wound up missing weight the fight after we stopped working together. And that was unfortunate because I had, deep affection for Tiago, also really helped him at a time in his career. But that was me. That was time for me to move away. Brian says, also loving the 20-Minute Fitness Network. I appreciate that. Anyone who's interested, type in Mike Dolce, 20-Minute Fitness Network. Get started. Vegan Badass. What's up, my friend? Happy 22 year of the Dolce. I like that. We're in. We'll say year of the Dolce way, W-A-Y. What do you think of steroids in MMA? I mean, I think they're there. For sure they're there. I think they're everywhere. Dude, I know lawyers. I know doctors who are doping to perform, to be better at their jobs, to make more money. Think about that. I know race car drivers. I know bow hunters. Real story. Who are technically doping to better perform their task, to raise their Q rating, to make more money and excel in their career. Why would they not do it in MMA? Zlotan says, yo, senpai, yo, chat, happy 2022. You all, I appreciate that. And those who see right now, Zlatan, the Rogue, has that little badge. Guys, gals, everyone here, get the badge. I think we have free badges. You could pay a couple extra dollars. But you don't have to. If you want to pay, hey, that's great. It's like $1 a month or something like that. You get some benefits. I think we have a badge that's a free badge just for subscribers to the channel. Definitely get a badge just so I know that you're a subscriber to the channel, and that'll help you stand out a little bit. In time, we're going to be hosting Q&As for subscribers. You don't have to pay anything, but subscribers will get their questions asked or answered, and I'll know you're a subscriber. That's what I think right now. Maybe some of you guys know this better than I, but what I understand is click the badge, become a subscriber for free. Become a subscriber, click the badge that shows you're a subscriber, doesn't cost you anything, and then I'll be able to answer all the subscriber questions continually for free. Everyone can watch, but we want to give those subscribers a little bit more attention. Cole says, any idea why melatonin has the opposite effect on me personally? I tried it once, but ended up feeling energized and staying up all night. I have no idea. I don't have any data on that. I'm not sure. I would type in Google Scholar and I would start going down that rabbit hole. Educate yourself, then come on back and tell me. I'd certainly be open to listening to it. Turk Reed says, hey, Mike, will running, in addition to push-pull legs split, reduce or improve gains, or is it a waste of time, assuming healthy diet? Running is never a bad thing. Running is healthy. If you're trying to make yoked gains, like get fucking bigger and stronger, well, you might want to pull back on the running and maybe just add a little bit of walking to your routine to keep body fat low, to stimulate metabolism, to improve nutrient transport through the cardiovascular system. But running might actually, create more of a caloric deficit. That would be the only take I would say. Lazar says, do you take antioxidants and which one is best? Thanks. Well, the supplements that I take a ubiquinol product. I take vitamin C. I take a vitamin B complex. I take zinc. I take quercetin. I take a vitamin K2. It's a K2, K7 blend. I take vitamin D3. I take melatonin. I take creatine. Cyclically, I don't take it year round, but when I go through training phases, I'm just starting a training phase right now. That's pretty much what I take. Coach, what do you think is appropriate diet for dogs? Well, we feed our dogs primarily salmon, wild-caught salmon. Zoe Dolce is a very lucky pit bull. So she is a rescue. We rescued her when she was about 8 weeks old from a crackhead in, was it Oregon or Vegas? In Vegas, I think. Anyway, so she eats mostly wild-caught salmon. Very lucky dog. We'll add some sweet potato to it, or just a little bit of carrots. She loves carrots. But dogs are mostly carnivorous. They're well suited for that as far as what we understand. We use some sort of It's like Dr. Harvey or something like that. We have some sort of like food blend also that will add to her salmon. And we have the canned wild caught salmon, like literally legit wild caught salmon. It's not as expensive though as it sounds. I mean, it's not inexpensive, but there you can go to like PetSmart and spend more money on shitty dog food. We just buy cans of wild caught salmon for her primarily, and she's fucking awesome. She's in amazing shape. I think she's 11 or 12 years old now, and she's like still runs around like a puppy. And she is my daughter's protector. This dog understands her role in the family and plays it extremely well. So we would definitely give her as much benefit as she can. Do you still work with any active fighters? Yes, I do. We consult. We have active athletes, not just the UFC, not just fighters, but wrestlers and all these others can all the time. We homeschool our kids for years. It is fantastic. We absolutely love it. What did the decision to homeschool your children come about? Well, we're sending our children to private school. Back in 2019, our oldest went to PK4 in 2019 and 2020. She started kindergarten, and our youngest went into PK3, and that was in September of 2020. And by November of 2020, there was a third-party COVID scare. The school shut down for 2 weeks going into Thanksgiving break, which was then 3 weeks. And the 2 weeks of, quote, remote learning was busy work. Our 5-year-old and 4-year-old daughters were expected to sit at their terminal in their uniform at 8:10 in the morning for 6 hours and color. After 2 days of that, my wife and I said, this is fucking ridiculous. Regardless of the money we're paying, this is a waste of time. Our kids were so bored and so frustrated. We said, you know what? Fuck this. Feel bad for the teachers. They're getting shit instruction from the Board of Education, from the governor's office, from the president at the time, and continuously. We can do a better job. So we pulled them. We notified the school that we're going to be homeschooling our children. We pulled them, and we went down the rabbit hole of homeschooling. So we have a state certified curriculum for the state we live in right now, which is New Jersey. So our kids can follow along the state curriculum. Already now, my oldest daughter is a year ahead. My youngest daughter is a year and a half ahead. Curriculum-wise, both of my children read fluently. Like my 5-year-old, who's technically in PK4, she would be going into kindergarten next year. She can read, she can write. Like my oldest is excelling, and we've enrolled our children into Elon Musk's Ad Astra, which is his homeschool. And some of you may or may not know. So Ad Astra, I believe it's called Ad Astra or Astra. My apologies for not knowing the exact name, but Elon, same thing. He was called to his kid's school. He goes to his kid's school. He said, what are my kids learning? He saw what they were learning. He said, this is ridiculous. This is no way to educate any human, let alone children. He pulled his kids and he started his own school inside SpaceX for his children and for any of his employees' children that wanted to be a part of it. They have since, now that was 2 or so years ago, they have since expanded that into a remote learning experience. And we applied, and our oldest daughter was accepted to be a part of Elon Musk's, we call it SpaceX school. So we use that as adjunct curriculum to what we already teach at home. It's 1 day a week that she's a part of the SpaceX program. And that's approximately an hour and a half. Our youngest is just slightly too young. Next year, she'll be a part of that. And it's fucking amazing what Elon Musk is doing. He's training the next generation, our children. He's literally created curriculum to teach our children, the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds, how to learn in a manner that allows them to become the generation that lands on Mars and populates Mars and solves the problems of the world. To sit there and watch the curriculum, it's all tasks and problem solving. The children work in pods. There's, my daughter who's 6 turning 7, she's working with 10, 11, 7, 9-year-olds in her pod, and they have a task in order to figure out how to solve these rather complex problems while working together as a team. Great stuff. So we use that as adjunct information. Also, we have a music teacher who comes over who teaches my oldest violin, my youngest piano. We have a Spanish teacher that comes over 1 day a week and speaks in Spanish to my daughters, teaching them Spanish. They know more Spanish than I do at this point. That is the benefit of homeschool, and all of this costs us less than when we were sending our children to a local private school. And my children can wake up anytime they want. Like I'm talking long on this for any parent who might be interested. There was 2 questions back to back on homeschool. It's fucking amazing. Now, dedicated teaching in homeschool is 45 minutes a day. My wife spends 45 minutes teaching our children directly, which is more true education time than your children are getting sitting in a classroom of 14, 16, 18, 24 kids, because they have 1 or 2 teachers, 1 teacher and 1 assistant teacher who are telling your children to sit down, wait your turn, be quiet. You're the smartest kid in the class. You have to wait for the less smart kid in class to understand what's happening before we can actually move on. And that happened to my daughter also. She would have to sit for the first hour when she was going to school. She would have to do busy work and color. She's like, I don't want to color. This is boring to me. And she would just scribble through it and hand it in. She was smart enough to just get it done, hand it in, and then just do whatever she wanted to do. So her school was teaching her that, which is teaching her nothing. So now we spend 45 minutes a day in intentional work. I cannot say enough about it. I'm just blown away at how well my children are advancing and the homeschool network. My children take karate. They take gymnastics. They are enrolled in theater and dance. So the concept of homeschooling does not allow children to be socialized is completely false. That is a false narrative being pushed onto you guys. Now think about it. When you send your kid to school, they have to wear a mask. They're not allowed to hold any friend's hand. They can't tell if their friends are smiling or not, laughing or not. And they're sitting in these plastic cubes 6 feet or more away from each other. Is that socialization? That is anti-socialization. That's one of the reasons we pulled our children also. I do not want my children to grow up like that, believing that that is normal life. True story. That's just me. That's just my world. That's just my take on it. Take it for what it is. Take it for what it is. Milan says, "Where's the legendary beanie?" I was sweating my ass off before I got here. I was working outside, and I wore my black beanie. I have a few floating around. That has been my favorite lately. It was just too wet to wear. Thoughts on TRT and HGH? I think they're excellent for those who are medically approved to need such things. I will say, first, start holistically. Are you sleeping 7.5 to 9 hours per night? Are you minimizing stress in your life? Are you eating high net nutrient foods? Are you training consistently and intensely? If you're not doing that, don't even worry about TRT and HGH just yet. Get that stuff going. Get your comprehensive blood work done. Sit with your doctor. Do you have any deficiencies? Are you vitamin D deficient? Excuse me. Are you zinc magnesium deficient? Are you DHEA or pregnenolone deficient? If you are, you got to get those optimized, because that will lift testosterone and HGH/IGF-1. If you're doing all of that and you still have low total testosterone, and maybe total's fine, but free is low. Maybe your SHBG is off. Maybe your IGF-1 is off, because IGF-1 is the indicator of HGH. We work with a lot of primarily men, guys, between typically 35 and 55, who are on TRT, on HGH, depending on what their budget is, what their doctor thinks. We don't prescribe it, of course, but if you are working with a doctor and you're under supervised care, then we work with you to help consult, to help organize your nutrition, your lifestyle, to work on supplementation. That's what we do here. We have a team of registered dietitians on staff. And we have a lot of experience working with a lot of private clients who are taking all sorts of different pharmaceuticals. How do you get a badge for your YouTube name? Cole, I think it's You have to subscribe, so make sure you subscribe. I'll do a deeper dive. Some of you probably know more about the YouTube than I do. I think you have to be a subscriber to the channel, and then you can like click the link somewhere, even maybe under the video right now. Let me see. I don't want to bore you guys. Let me jump on here. It's too loud. Pause that. Dislike, save, share, join. Okay, join. There you go. So if you click join, it's $1.99 a month for a loyalty badge. I will go in there for a blue belt, purple. I appreciate that. Thank you guys for being a part of it. So you can jump in right now for the $1.99 a month to join, to be a part of the channel. I'm going to hold free Q&As for those who are members of the channel. And I will there are tiers already built in. And I'll try and find a way to do it completely for free. So at least I know you guys are subscribers to the channel, and I can do those free Q&As for you guys anyway. How much does your genetics play into our fitness and body type? Like everything. Everything. I mean, genetics are everything. And now you can work with your genetics and you can work against your genetics. And part of that, let's say cardiovascular disease, it runs in your family. Diabetes runs in your family. You live a totally horrible sedentary shit life. Guess what? You're probably going to have a cardiovascular event. You're probably going to have some sort of diabetic event. If you live an awesome, healthy, completely like fit lifestyle, you will typically offset what your genetics are, what your family history is. Zlatan says, get the badge, people, regarding warm-up for push-pull legs. For now, I do 10 minutes low intensity on Echo Bike, around 40 to 45, 80 to 110 watts, and 5x20 kettlebell swings. Ooh, you're working hard. Should I switch it up? Number one, Zlatan is, and I hope I said that name correctly, he is a member. You can see his little badge right there that shows he has upgraded his membership, and I think I don't know what you're paying, but maybe it's the $1.99 per month. And thank you. I greatly, greatly appreciate that. And for you being here. And I saw a few other badges here inside the community. I'll try and find a way to make it as inexpensive as possible. I forget the way that was even set up. That's been quite some time. But we're definitely going to start running subscriber only Q&As. You know, and we'll do a few others, but more often subscriber only, just to help boost the algorithm. I hope you guys understand, but I'll make it inexpensive or like free for you guys, just so you subscribe. Now, push-pull legs, 10 minutes low intensity, 5x20 kettlebell swings. That's all. Should I switch up? I mean, that's great. But you're doing the kettlebell swings, which is awesome. But are you doing any sort of explosive work? Are you doing any? Remember, the human body, we push, we pull, we squat, we hinge, and we rotate through the core, or we resist rotation. Make sure you're hitting all 5 of those primary movements, Zlatan, and you are killing it. Milan says, you should feature your dog in a live stream once. I will. Zoe is awesome. The sweetest pit bull ever, and she went toe-to-toe with a rabid pit bull not long ago. Actually, it was maybe a year and a half or so ago. Rabid pit bull wandering into our backyard when our kids were out there playing, and Zoe was sleeping in the sun. She immediately knew, got up, and boom, went right after, went to war with this rabid pit bull. Thank God she was up to date on her rabies shots. We had to quarantine her for a while. She got a little scratched up, beat up, and they caught the raccoon, and unfortunately had to put it down. It was fucking crazy, and the raccoon was huge, by the way. Zoe is the sweetest dog in the world, but anytime any stranger is near my family, she puts herself between my family and the stranger, and we'll be happy the entire time. She'll be happy. She'll be smiling. She'll like let them kind of like pet her, show her the respect, but she's always ready to fucking bounce. And she is a super athlete. We took the time to train her, so we have, you know, specific codes and commands and such that she understands, but she knows her job. Her job is to protect her family, protect the girls at all costs, which is awesome. So that's why she gets wild caught salmon. Cole says, thank you for your time, Coach. Truly appreciate your knowledge and generosity. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. What program do you use for homeschooling? Zach, we've used a few different programs. I don't know one we use specifically right now, but we use one that's more of a national program, and then one that was state specific, and we've exceeded them. We've already burnt through them. So my wife continues on, and she has like the days of the week. It's like Monday through Friday. She knows exactly what she's going to be teaching, whether it's, reading and writing and science and math. And, we focus on STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So we really overlay the STEM, but we also have a lot of language, and then we have the arts built in. So, it's like the music teacher comes over and spends the time. I mean, my children read sheet music. And some of you also do that. I can't read sheet music. And that to me is like, it's fucking insane to see my 5 and 6 year old reading sheet music and playing the actual chords and playing the notes. It blows my mind. I just want to provide access to opportunity for my children and then see what they have an aptitude for, so they have no limitations in life. That's all. If they love playing violin and they want to continue playing violin, well, they've had a violin in their hand since they were 4 years old. If they love language, well, they've learned another language. They've heard another language. They've been speaking Spanish since they were 4 years old. They've been training in gymnastics since they were 3 years old, karate since they were 3 years old, right? I don't want my kid to become a UFC fighter, God forbid. I want my children to be the ones building the rockets that are colonizing Mars. That's what I see for my children. I want my, hopefully, dad, fingers crossed here, I want my children to be engineers. I want them to hopefully, get their master's degree and then possibly even PhDs and be engineers by trade and have that engineering, mathematical, scientific mind, while also being athletic and artistic and being good people. And we were shoveling our neighbor's walkway today. We have a great neighbor who's a little bit older and dealing with some health issues right now. And my 5 and 6 year old girls shoveled his house out. Those are the type of children that we're raising. All right. That is the curriculum. That is the goal. And then I paid them for their work, and they didn't know they were getting paid. But afterwards, I paid them each, because rule number 1 is make money every single day. Rule number 2, save and protect your money aggressively. Rule number 3, teach your money to make more money. And I teach that to my children every single day. So, Zach, to answer your question, we use a more of an eclectic homeschooling concept right now that we've put together. My wife is an academic. Brandy has a master's degree in communications and journalism. So she loves academia. Me, not so much. Oh, let me answer this. Can you point me to a program that works for workout days Monday through Friday? Friday, Monday, Tuesday rest. DP, I'm sorry, I don't know. Can you point me to a program that works for workout days? Friday, Monday, Tuesday rest. Go to the DolceDiet.com, join our 4-week or 12-week program. It is built for you 100%. You'll get enrolled into our beast mode likely or our beach mode program out of the gate. Works great. Everything is there for you. And you can choose the day that you train. That's up to you. You can just make it work for your system, no problem. That's what I would strongly recommend. There's a million different options that I could come up with, but I already built it at thedolcediet.com. You can click the link below this video, the 4-week or 12-week program. It's absolutely amazing. And use my Save 30 promo code to save 30%. Hi, EC, thank you. Coach, your face is losing weight in every stream, looking sharp. Thank you. I appreciate that. Remember, I set my goal. I set my New Year's resolutions. My goal, sorry about that. My goal is to be 8% body fat by May 1st. Usually I get down in single-digit body fat percent midsummer or so. My goal this year is to be 8% body fat by May 1st at 200 pounds, which means I'm not going to lose a single ounce of muscle as I stand here right now at about 212 pounds, around 12% body fat. So I have to lose 4% body fat while not losing any lean, healthy, functional muscle tissue. Now, that's fucking hard at 45 years old, but I've already started, and I appreciate that you can start to see. Now, those of you who watch the stream and you follow us consistently, you will see me starting to change, starting to rapidly change as we continue on. Now, I am following 3 weeks to shredded right now. I am deep into just finished week 1. I think today's the last day of week 1. I'm following the 3 weeks to shredded right now. Excuse me. I'll probably do 4 rounds of 3 weeks to shred it. as I continue on, because that's the easiest, most effective way for me to do it. Every meal, every recipe is planned for me. I don't have to think about that. My grocery list is right there. And it is literally, although I created the program with my dietitians, it coaches me. It teaches me. I log on. I know what I'm supposed to eat. Bang, it's right there. Done deal. Super easy. Right? So anyone who wants to follow along, click the link below, start the 3 weeks to shredded program. We can do this together. I want to be in amazing shape come May 1st, which is not even the start of summer, although it's tank top season, right? Remember, if you do not start your diet until Easter, you're behind. I already started my summer diet right now. I already started right now. Those of you start thinking about it. And you can use the month of January simply to clean up the shit. Use the month of January to clean up the shit, to stop drinking, stop eating all the cookies and all the cakes, stop binging, get structured. And that's where our online program works extremely well. It gives you that structure. Is hummus bad or good for you? I don't see it in your cookbooks. Hummus is good. I have some in the fridge right now. Hummus is good. It's chickpeas. Simple. Gabby says, what is an easy, obese, beginner-friendly, full-body resistance workout that anyone can do with dumbbell or resistance band? Gabby, I would say go for a walk. Go for a walk. The easiest thing most people can do is simply go for a walk. And I would say walk 10 minutes out your front door, turn around and come home. Tomorrow, go 11. The next day, go 12. Keep working your way up until you are walking for a minimum of 30 minutes. Once you're able to consistently walk for 30 minutes, then you want to start adding very simple body weight squats. Hands on the table in front of you, squatting down partially, standing back up. Literally, hands on the table, squat down halfway, come back up. Can you do 3 sets of 10? Can you do 5 sets of 10? If you can do that, then we want to squat down to near parallel and come back up. Can you do 3 sets of 10? Can you do 5 sets of 10? If you can do that, then we're going to put our hands on our chest and we're going to try that again. 3 sets of 10, 5 sets of 10. If you can do that, then let's say this is a kettlebell. I'm going to hold a kettlebell or a dumbbell. 3 sets of 10, 5 sets of 10. Once you can do that, you are cooking with grease, baby. You are ready to roll. And you can do that in a very short period of time, less than 30 days, no problem, which is less than a month. Like by the end of January, you could now be adding resistance. We take our time and we scale. I do not, and I see this happen all too many times. People say, I'm ready to go. I want to start working out. I'm not quite, in shape just yet, but I'm going to go all in. And they follow some bullshit program and they're doing leg presses and extensions and curls and calf raises and swinging kettlebells and doing battle ropes and flipping tires. And they're like, oh, fuck, I'm so hurt. I'm injured. I think this sucks. I just got to take a day off. And one day off turns into 100. I see it all the time. Instead of starting slow and scaling properly, go for a 10-minute walk, turn around, come home. Drink only water, fresh brewed tea, maybe a little black coffee. Eat lean, green, and clean, the 4x4, 4 meals 4 times throughout the day. Maybe start a 3 weeks shredded program and really jumpstart your nutrition. Watch your body dramatically start to change. Get energized. Now you have the right micronutrients to help you heal and recover at the cellular level. And then you slowly start scaling and adding more body weight centric, lifestyle appropriate exercises, right? And there we scale. Gabby, give it a try. Let me know. At what age did you start shaving your head? I just turned 26 and I'm shaving mine now. Feels good. Seems like girls in the early 20s don't dig it so much though. Well, let me tell you, girls over 30 definitely do. And those are the girls you want to be talking to, my friend. Girls under 20 or girls in the early 20s, no disrespect to the early 20s ladies out there, but those same girls 10 years from now are awesome. Awesome. So if I'm you, Turk Reeds, I am going to be looking a little bit farther down the road. I'm not looking back in the rear view at the younger chicks. I'm looking at the more experienced women out there. Trust me on that one, my friend. Trust me on that one. I started shaving my head. I started in probably my early 30s, really like buzzing it. And then every so like I'll buzz it. And then sometimes I'll clean razor. I have one of those like pit bull skull things that Brandy got me, which is a head shaver. I look like I have it here. It's a home in my bathroom. That's awesome. It takes like a minute and I can shave my head completely. Like dry shave or wet shave works great. Sometimes I'll just like do a quick like in the shower shave if like I want to like clean it up. Sometimes I'll just kind of short buzz it so I have the stubble, which looks well. All depends, But in my early 30s is when I started to buzz it down. I didn't start to shave it until I was probably 40, which was 5 years ago. Well, guys and gals, an hour. Zach C. just signed up to the online program yesterday. The program starts Monday. Zach, I love it. I appreciate it. Thank you. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm here for you. I'm here to coach you through the program. If anybody is interested, and let's bang right there, you can go to thedolcediet.com, make the change today, get in the absolute best shape of your life. You can see these are real testimonials. This program changed my life. I lost 54 pounds. I can't believe how fast this program worked. Real people. Bam! Right there. Real testimonials. Bam! Right there. Real human beings. Bam! Right there. These are just a few of the thousands and thousands that we have had come through. We can see people like Ronda Rousey and Dana White. Mike Dolce takes these athletes to another level. Just imagine what he can do for you. Rhonda says, I don't count calories at all. I don't crave anything. There is nothing missing from my diet. You can choose the 4-week program or the 12-week program, and more social proof of what people are saying. That is all at thedolcediet.com, designed to cut fat fast. More testimonials as you continue on and see what we have now. It is freaking awesome. The #1 rated online healthy weight loss platform at thedolcediet.com. Use promo code SAVE30 to save 30%, save 30. And anyone who is interested, you can also consider online coaching. Online coaching right now, right here, which is $199.99 for 30 days of daily coaching by myself. This is a steal. I charge quite a bit more for my private clients, but we work together one-on-one. You can actually click on this video. So let that play out. Just check that out. Also, we have handbooks available. Anyone who's interested, where you can click on, you want recipes? Bam! Whatever individual recipe you want is all loaded up in here. Maybe it's just dinners. Bam. Workouts, very specific workouts that you want to use, you want to train. All that stuff is here. But thedolcediet.com, the 4-week, the 12-week program. Check it out. Save 30% with promo code SAVE30. That would be a strong suggestion. Click the links below. It's all there for you guys. Turk Reed says, Mike, you are the man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Guys and gals, thank you all for being here. This is awesome. I absolutely love these live chats, working with you guys every Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Put it in your calendar right now. Put a little reminder. Tell your iPhone to remind you, 12 p.m. Dolce on Friday. Do the live chat. Subscribe to the channel if you have not. Give this video a thumbs up if you like this content, if I have offered some sort of value in your life. But leave comments below this video for the algorithm to get us out of the shadow ban, but also to ask a question that I will answer at a future time in a future video. Thank you guys once again for being here, and until next time, boom!